Welcome back to TechNet Radio. It's IT time, and in today's episode, Blain, Barton, and John Baker interview Walker White, Chief Technology Officer for BDNA Corporation. Listen in as they go in-depth on how BDNA products can help System Center admins improve their daily IT operations, as well as realize the full potential of their IT budgets and infrastructure. Blain, the mic is yours.
Hello and welcome to IT Time. I'm your host, Blain Barton, and with me today I have my friend and peer and co-host, John Baker. How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. We finally have no snow here, so everything's fine.
Excellent, excellent. Better weather is always good. And also today with us we have a special guest, Walker White, Chief Technology Officer for BDNA Corporation and a Microsoft partner. How you doing today, Walker?
Very good, but we do have snow. I'm in Washington, D.C., so we're fighting that.
Lucky you. Well, I'm in Tampa, Florida, and the streets are clear here. So, well, welcome, Walker White. Walker is responsible for the technical aspects of all customer-facing activities, including things like project management, product engineering, service delivery, and, of course, support. Prior to joining BDNA, he's had 12 years as a veteran with Oracle Corporation. During his tenure at Oracle, he's had and held different positions as Vice President of Application Technology, Chief Technologist of Oracle Service Industries, Product Line Manager for Hewlett-Packard, and other technical management positions. So you're a regular speaker I see at many commercial, governmental, and educational information technology forums. Also looks like you went to the University of California, San Diego, and you got a BS in computer engineering. Is that correct?
That's right. Best 5 years of my life.
Great, great. 5-year program. That's always great.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the best sale I ever made.
Yeah, 5 years in San Diego. There's a hardship.
So the first thing I want to do is just kind of get to know you, Walker. You know, how did you get involved in IT?
Thanks, Blain, and first, thanks for having me on today. This is a real pleasure for me. I think like lots of us in IT, I started actually when I was about 16 years old. I told my parents I wanted a motorcycle, and like any good parent, they were like, not a chance. So I figured I needed a job so I could actually buy one. So I ended up getting a job as a data entry clerk, where I had to copy stuff from fanfold papers into this system they'd written in Microsoft Basic way back when. But as I entered it, the columns in which I ordered it on the paper weren't the same as they were on the screen, so it took forever to actually get the information in there. So I ended up digging into the program and changing it so it mirrored the columns, so I could enter data basically twice as fast because I got paid on how much I got in there. And then my boss looked over my shoulder after about 2 weeks when my productivity had gone up substantially, and he said, you know, what did you do to that thing? And I said, well, I'm sorry. I thought he was going to fire me. I did this and fixed that. And there was this long pause, and he's like, we have this Wang VS80 system that's got a problem. Can you come take a look at it? And I was like, I guess so, you know, with no idea on how it would work. And so I think like a lot of people, you found out you had an aptitude for kind of solving problems and working with computers, and that's how I got started in this business, basically.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah, Basic, you know, is kind of dear to my heart as well. I spent some time as the team manager for the support engineers back in '90 when we had Rawhide and Thunder as they were under development. So good thing the Basic's still around. That's great to hear a little bit about how you really got started and kicked off in IT. Tell me a little bit about your role and your job, what you're doing for BDNA today.
Sure. So I am the Chief Technology Officer for BDNA. I spend most of my time on the product engineering side of our business, but also the services and support, the people who kind of touch our customer as it relates to the technology. I spend a great deal of time on that as well. So I like that role in the sense that I get a direct contact with the customer from the sales and pre-sales and services side of the business, and I get to see that reflected directly into our product engineering and product management aspects of our business. So it's a job I absolutely love, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Gotcha. That's great. You know, tell us a little bit about BDNA. I know you're involved with Microsoft as a partner, and, you know, where do you see your focus there?
Sure, absolutely. So BDNA is about a 10-year-old software company. We're headquartered in California. We have offices throughout the world, including North America, Europe, Asia, and about 350, 400 customers worldwide. Fundamentally, what we deliver is IT visibility, and what we mean by that is generating a very clear and very concise picture of all the hardware and software organizations have that they can use to drive both tactical and strategic IT business initiatives. With respect to Microsoft, we've been a partner with Microsoft for almost a decade. We are members of the System Center Alliance for ISVs and system integrators using the SCCM platform. And in conjunction with BDNA, we're really being able to deliver a lot of the value and one of the kind of the core components of the new Dynamic IT initiative, which is of course making IT much more strategic to the business. So our focus is, on Microsoft is really centering now around Dynamic IT and around some of the products that we're bringing to bear to support that.
Gotcha. That's excellent. I first got introduced at BDNA with Peter and some of the other folks, Nick, over at one of the local user groups, and I found that some of your product line was very interesting. I wanted to bring on IT Time with Mr. Baker here to talk more about your product line, introduce your products. So you've got this product called Technopedia, and you've also got one called BDNA Normalize. Can you expand a little bit on those and tell us a little bit about those product lines?
Sure, absolutely. So at the heart of BDNA's offering is something called BDNA Technopedia, and you can really think of Technopedia as a Sears catalog for all things IT, hardware and software. But it keeps a kind of a constantly expanding with basically the universe of IT capabilities. So we catalog all of that information, but also in Technopedia, very uniquely, we capture what we refer to as market data. This is basically information about the products that you can't necessarily collect from it. For example, when was SQL Server 2008 first released? When does it go to end of life? When does it no longer support it? When did Windows XP Service Pack 2 first get released? When is it no longer supported? And in the hardware space, we do it as well. What is the nominal wattage of a Dell PowerEdge 2950? What are the physical dimensions of a Dell R710? How much heat is dissipated by such a device, and so on. On the software side as well, is it licensable? Is it Windows 7 compatible? So you can imagine you have this catalog of all hardware and software products and all this interesting market data associated with it. And that's what Technopedia is. But if you think of Technopedia as basically a gallon of gas, we have two engines that basically drive that, and one of which, Blain, is BDNA Normalize. And again, the goal behind Normalize is very straightforward. We want to take data from operational tools, things like SCCM, and normalize or align that data to Technopedia and enrich it with that market data so we can help for the Dynamic IT initiatives to really drive IT operations and so on into the business aspects of it. That's really where we're tapping into the Microsoft SCCM community. So by really helping them start to, you get so many requests, and we hear it all the time from the SCCM community of, hey, I'm spending so much time answering questions for people, and then they come back with clarifications and so on and so forth. And with BDNA Normalize, we clean that data up and kind of get those guys off your backs, basically.
Gotcha.
That's pretty interesting. So how does it all work? Can you give us in simple layman terms for our listeners, walk us through the process of how it all works?
Sure, absolutely. So BDNA Normalize is, that's really the best part about it, John, is that it really is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, you install BDNA Normalize on a Windows system. It obviously uses SQL Server as its back end. Step 2 is we point it to an SCCM repository, and then it takes it from there, which is step 3, which is it pulls out the raw information from SCCM, the raw collected information, and it normalizes that data and then enriches it with that data from Technopedia. So let me perhaps give you a more poignant example. For example, in SCCM, you may see multiple Windows add remove program entries, multiple executables that say, this is Adobe Acrobat 8.0 Professional. This is Adobe Acrobat 8.0 Professional English Language Edition. So these are referred separately in SCCM, but they're actually the same product. And so when the business gets a look at it, they want the normalized data. You, as an operator of SCCM, might want that more detailed information, but they want the normalized data so they can tackle the strategic initiatives of license compliance and things kind of up the food chain like that. So by cleaning that data up, we really present it to the business user in a way that allows them to digest it and take advantage of, again, to the dynamic IT initiative, really be able to support those business initiatives that are driving the business forward.
That's pretty cool, Walker. Can you give me a specific example of how a customer of ours uses the integrated BDNA System Center platform to help them realize the dynamic IT goals?
Yeah, absolutely. So a good example, we have a client that's a very, very extensive user of Microsoft SCCM. They're in the financial services business, and they wanted to they have a series of initiatives at the business level of the organization where they wanted to get data from SCCM to use that information, but they ended up spending a lot of their time kind of trying to understand what the information is that they were being sent and clarify those differences between product titles and so on and so forth. So as an example of this, one of the initiatives they were focused on is a virtual desktop initiative. So they were looking at the example where I want to understand the types of applications that people have so I can start to profile how people are going to, what people are best suited for virtual desktops. So using BDNA Normalize, we took all of their SCCM data for 45,000 clients, normalized all that data to their current market names, and then from Technopedia enriched it with information like categorical information. So this is applications productivity. These are applications software development. These are applications, fill in the blank. So there are all sorts of ways that we can wrap information around that. And then they're able to say, okay, in this line of business, I want to start my virtual desktop initiative with those people that have at least 80% of their applications being productivity applications. Yeah. And again, remember, we're trying to enable the business basically, and this is about the business, right? It's not about speeds and feeds or what patch level or so on they may have for a particular product, but rather how do we get the business, how do we support the business with the data that we're already generating from SCCM? So that's really an example of how we're supporting specifically dynamic IT, and in this particular case, a client.
That's great. Yeah, you hit it on the nail on the head on that one, right? Garbage in, garbage out. And I during the local user group here in Tampa, we had an opportunity to see some of those rich reports that are also spawned from some of your product lines. And I'll tell you, it's a pretty neat line of integrated System Center products, if you will, integrated in with the Microsoft System Center family. So kind of changing gears here, I bet you are looking forward to the Microsoft Management Summit, and also I imagine it's a pretty, MMS 2011 is a big deal for you.
Yeah, we're really excited about MMS 2011, not the least of which is because it's in Las Vegas, but we are actually going to. We really feel it's going to be a very breakout opportunity, a breakout show for BDNA as it relates to Microsoft and specifically the SCCM community. We're going to be announcing a new technology, a new capability at MMS around SCCM, which is going to. Right now, normalized from SCCM's perspective, it's really about aiding the business users, and that's great for people on the SCCM kind of operators, if you will, in that we're kind of relieving a lot of that pain of getting information to people in the right way, in the right form. But we got a great solution coming forward at MMS, which we'll be announcing and demonstrating, that's really going to feed back into SCCM to really help them on the operational side of the business as well. So we're really looking forward to MMS.
So no sneak previews of the product, huh?
Well, I'm not going to give you a sneak preview now, but I think that we got to get all off for that. I've got to be a little bit coy, if you don't mind, yeah. But really, as I touched on, the key here is that BDNA Normalize is cleaning up data and really making it valuable for people, part of the dynamic IT initiatives, for people that are trying to solve these business issues. But from our work with the community, from the the various users groups that we were in, where we met you, Blain, and other ones that we've been to, conversations we've had with SCCM MVPs as well, they really have shown us, frankly, a lot of opportunity that, frankly, we probably overlooked a little bit. And as a result of that, we're taking that community feedback, as we think that's really where you get, a vast majority of your great ideas, and helping to enable SCCM with the data that's being normalized as well. So we're really looking forward to it, and I don't mean to be coy, but it's hopefully it's just right around the corner now, so we can we're excited to get there.
You'll just have to wait and see and attend MS 2011 to find out.
Yeah. Well, and for those of us who aren't lucky enough to be able to attend 2011 and go to Vegas, and I know Blain loves Vegas, but
I love Vegas.
Those of us who can't get to Vegas, those are the listeners out there that are interested in this. Where can they get more information on the BDNA integration with System Center?
Sure. Well, of course, the best place to start is at our website, BDNA.com, and that's you can think of it as business DNA. So if the letters are hard to remember, business DNA is sometimes quicker to remember. So BDNA.com, our website. We're also going to be doing, as a lead up to MMS, a 3-part webinar series called SCCM Escalator to Value, where we're going to talk about kind of the need for strategic information. How do we deal with normalization? What is the value of normalization? And then finally, what's the value of enrichment? And we're going to see some client examples as we go through that 3-part series. They're each about 20, 25 minutes. So that'd be a great way to get kind of spun up on what BDNA is doing. And then, of course, if you're able to make it to Vegas, you can swing by our booth out there and take a look at the soon-to-be-released capability. So.
And get me a free T-shirt, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
On your website, do you have is there an eval or a demo that they can watch?
Yeah, well, actually, we actually offer pilots of BDNA Normalize all the time, like live pilots where we'll take 1,000, the data from 1,000 hosts, they ship it to us, we'll normalize it, and then host up the results for them so they can see the value of BDNA Normalize.
Pretty cool.
That's great. Well, thanks, Walker White, Chief Technology Officer for BDNA Corporation. And I want to always thank my co-host and partner there, John Baker. So this is a wrap for IT Time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Once again, I'm Blain Barton, your host. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Walker.